Your sister knew perfectly well we were to leave today. How she could forget it?
She didn't forget. She's with her dancing master. She's with him every morning. She always comes back with scrapes and bruises. She's so clumsy.
Hush. Go back to your room. Bar the doors. And do not open them for anyone you do not know.
What is it? What's happening?
Do as I told you. Run!
Cersei is much more ruthless, so she's willing to use Ned's children as pawns in a way that Ned was not willing to use Cersei's children.
They come for Arya, and luckily for Arya, she has a protector who realizes there's something strange about this situation and who's willing to fight to the death to give her the chance to escape.
Arya, child, we are done with dancing for the day. Run to your father.
She's romanticized sword fighting, and she sees the dark side of this for the first time, really. And all the training she's had really comes to the fore, where the main lesson he's taught her, where it's just about surviving, about taking your focus and focusing on death, not getting its hands on you in this moment and on this day. And here the kid comes along who thinks he's found a nice, easy score. He can bring this girl to the queen, and he unfortunately just didn't realize and didn't reckon with the fact that this girl knows what to do with a sword.
I think this season is a kind of a series of nasty awakenings for Arya, for many of the characters.
Please, Your Grace, there's been a mistake. Send for my father, he'll tell you. The king was his friend.
You're just seeing Sansa on one side of the table, and then the four most heavy-hitting, underhanded double dealers in the world on the other side of the table.
Sansa's being manipulated here to do the Queen's will.
Sansa, sweetly, you were innocent of any wrong, we know that. Yet you are the daughter of a traitor. How can I allow you to marry my son?
It's a little bit of a good cops, bad cops thing where you know, Pycelle is the bad cop, and he's saying she's the whelp of a traitor, and we can never trust her, and maybe she looks sweet and innocent now, but someday she's going to grow up and do horrible things. Whereas Littlefinger and Varys are saying, oh, but you know, come on, she didn't do anything. It's not her fault that her father committed these crimes, and she's a sweet young girl and still a good match for Joffrey. And the Queen is kind of pretending that she's listening to counsel on both sides, when really they've always had this plan.
Treason.
They want Sansa to write this letter to Robb.
Sansa wrote this.
It is your sister's hand, but the Queen's words. You're summoned to King's Landing to swear fealty to the new king.
Robb has had leadership thrust upon him at a time in his life when he's not completely ready for it. And this is the first real test of authority that he has, when he has all of these older, more seasoned men who have nominal allegiance to his father.
It's a test, and the Great John is this big, powerful guy who's been to war, and he disrespects Robb.
I'll not sit here and swallow insults from a boy so green it pisses grass!
And the way Robb deals with that is going to explain, you know, it's going to inform how people treat him from that point on. So it's a little bit like, you know, the whole prison story of you know, your first night in prison, someone's gonna like push you, and so this is kind of like Robb's prison yard encounter, and he's got the big convict testing him.
Tyrion and Bronn no sooner outwit and escape Lysa and the people in the Eyrie, and they are then abducted and kidnapped again by the Stone Crows.
How would you like to die, Tyrion, son of Tywin?
In my own bed, at the age of 80?
Tyrion's someone who's always been a disappointment to his father literally from the moment of his birth. His mother died giving birth to him. From their point of view, this mother and wife that they loved died giving birth to this imp. You know, so they've never had much affection for Tyrion. Only Jaime, his older brother, really ever treated him with kindness.
Time to meet my father.
Tywin has always been really ashamed of him. And you see a bit of that when Tyrion returns, and Tywin had thought he might be dead, and he didn't seem particularly upset about the thought that Tyrion might be dead.
The rumors of your demise were unfounded.
Sorry to disappoint you.
To make matters worse, he also has to explain to his father that, oh, by the way, I'm also being held captive by the Stone Crows, and I promised them a lot of stuff.
You get to see who Tywin is as both a father and a military commander, because he's not all that thrilled that his son's returning, but these hill tribesmen that he brings back could be useful because they are renowned for being vicious fighters, and they're great cannon fodder.
Ride with me against my enemies, and you shall have all my son promised you and more.
Only if the half-man fights with us. Until we hold the steel he pledged us, the little lion's life is ours.